And we're back. Hey, everybody. This is your host, Darren Carter, the party starter of the Pocket Party Podcast. If you've seen photos of me in the last 2 to 3 years, maybe 4 years, maybe 5, you've seen this man's work. One of my favorite photographers. Here he is, Mr. Frankie Leal.
What's up? What's up, Darren? How's it going?
What's up, man? Dude, I'm so happy to have you on here. I want to give the people a little backstory. So I remember, okay, let me give you a real good backstory. Okay, guys, this is my very first headshot. Okay, I've been a stand-up comic for 25 plus years. This is my very first headshot. Do you see that? Is that, you get the idea?
Wow, that's so cool though. I love it. Wow, black and white.
It's cool for, like, I think I had way too much hair. Like, I think hair is overrated, but hold on. Yeah.
Can I just ask you, where'd you take that and who took it? That's a dope shot though, for reals.
Dude, that shot right there was I was going to Fresno City College. There was a photographer major who's like, hey, I wish I remember his name. He's like, can I take your photo? And he's like, I just need someone to practice on. And as you can see, I was going through my Rick Astley stage, like the never gonna give you up. You know, you just got Rick rolled. And look, I even like buttoned my shirt all the way to the top. But see, this face right here is like, hopes and aspirations. This is what the business will do to you, folks.
It's such a good picture though. Like I know you're joking about it, but it's so good. I love it. Like I'm looking at the lighting, I'm looking at the pose, I'm looking at the eyes and stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool. You know what I'm going to do is I haven't done this yet, but maybe by the time you guys hear this, I'm going to start a Patreon, and I think for some of the tiers on Patreon, I think I'm going to do signed old headshots. You know, what I mean? I'll autograph my old headshots and send them to them. So there's this headshot, and then there's this one. This was about, I don't know, maybe, here we go. This next one coming up might've been about 10 years after that. And I like this one because this one, wait, hold on. This one has that look like look at this one. This way, hold on. I think I should bring it in this way. This one has that look like, hey, ladies, does anyone need sunblock? You know what I mean?
The first one better. Yeah, the first one.
Yeah. This one was like, hey, does someone need some lotion on their bikini? You know, like, yeah. And then now I'm jumping all around. So, but before I even moved to Los Angeles, I got my picture taken. Now I lived in San Diego for, I don't know, about a year and a half, maybe 2 years. I don't know. It was a long time ago. And I actually had a commercial agent. She goes, I know this photographer. You got to meet this guy. And I got to tell you, I've told this story on the podcast before, but I got to tell you, Frankie, this photographer was taking my picture, and then he'd run into the other room and he'd take pictures of Boy Scouts. So I think what it was he probably, now that we were older and I know the business more, he probably was renting those rooms and was like, oh, I'm just going to book a bunch of people and take a bunch of pictures and, but I didn't know anything about the business, and I didn't even, but this picture right here got me booked into a National Miller beer commercial. So I got to thank them for that, Miller beer commercial. But this is the look that I was rocking around 1994.
Ooh, that's like Marky Mark status right there, boy.
Man, this was like, I remember he told me, he goes, I got to take some pictures of some Boy Scouts, just do some push-ups. And I was really trying to get my arms pumped. And then he told me to look into the camera like I'm trying to seduce a woman. So that was the look right there. That's me push-ups, and that's me trying to seduce a girl.
Let's bring that back though, Darren. Let's bring that look back.
I know. I don't even know if I've given my wife that look. Hey, Jeannie, if you're watching.
Like, I know you've seen like those pictures that, like that people take like 20 years ago when they're babies, and then like they retake the photo.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I should recreate that.
Yeah, we should.
So the right hand was there, and I was like, yeah, see, I was sort of like leaning in, flexing a little bit. Now this is I'm going to show you this is one of the last photo before you entered my life, but look at this. I don't know what this guy was thinking, but they told me to sit backwards on a chair. They go, sit backwards on a chair. If you look, I'm squatting on a chair with work boots. I don't know why I'm wearing work boots, squatting on a chair, but there I am. Hold on. Work boots, squatting on a chair, thinking about my decisions. I'm wearing the white t-shirt underneath the shirt. But you know what, though? Yeah, that was me. And just in case, by the way, guys, when I start that Patreon, I'll autograph these. So not only, look at this, not only was it, my agent wanted me to have an 8x10. He goes, why don't you have a 5x7 in case you run into somebody at the airport and they want a copy of it? So I had like almost like a wallet size of me on a chair. So
that's so funny.
There you go. Yeah.
So dope.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
I'm looking at the lighting. I'm looking at the shadows, and they're all clean. So
right. They do you okay, can you just for we're gonna get into some of the photos you've taken, but let's my first recollection of meeting you was right outside the Comedy Store. Mm-hmm. And I think you guys had just by the way, I didn't know you were you. I didn't know you were you, so you're just a random guy. You're like, hey,
comedy
I think comedy fan, you love comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Show that picture, because this is you, and I didn't know this was you until years later. Like, this is, hold that right up in there. Look at that, guys. You know what that is? That in the background is the House of Blues. That's a House of Blues, which is no longer at the Comedy Store. That's the House of Blues right back there. And that was Frankie. And when I just thought you were like, because I like Kid Rock, and you had that hat on, and I was like, oh, this guy's like a Kid Rock type of guy, man. And you told me you like comedy, and I had just done my set at the Comedy Store, and I go, I got to go to the Valley, but I want to say that you guys actually finished the comedy show you were at, and you came and watched me in the Valley somewhere at the Haha, I think.
Yeah, well,
am I right about that?
Yeah, no, I think we didn't even go into the Comedy Store. We just
didn't.
No. We met you, and you put us on the guest list, right? So, I was with some friends. So we ended up going out and getting some food to eat, and then we ended up going to the Haha Club. But it's funny because, like, I know you didn't know me, of course, but like, I knew you just because you were from the Central Valley, right? And I'm from the Central Valley. So the first time that I had seen
Central Valley, dude, that's right. This guy belongs at Fashion Fair Mall, hanging out, going to, cruising Blackstone.
I think it was like in 2002. I mean, I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of comedy, but you would come on on Que Locos, I want to say. I think it was Que Locos, and there was like an urban comedy, or like they were like mainly like, I mean, you were the only white guy I want to say on the show, and like, I just thought, I was like, man, like, who is this guy? This guy, he's from the Valley. He's doing comedy, which, I mean, like, you were just like, I don't know, you were just like big time, right? Like, you're making it big in the Valley. So like,
thank you, buddy. Thank you.
For sure. I definitely always like followed your comedy.
So
huge fan.
If that was 2002, it's funny because I started noticing your work. When was that? Maybe like 2014, 2015, maybe 2016.
It could have been 2010, 2011, 12, maybe, because I started shooting my first shoot. So like, how I got into comedy photography was, I started in 2009. Me and my wife, we went out to the Comedy Store, and we met a comedian by the name of Jesus Trejo. And
Jesus Trejo, hilarious.
Yeah, at the time he was working the door, right? And we were there for like a bringer show, and there was somebody on. Man, like, honestly, like, I don't know if it was MySpace or Facebook. I know it was 2009. I don't know, but I don't know where it was. But a comedian was pretty much posted like, "Hey, come out to my show. I'll put you on the guest list." So me and my wife were already going to be in LA at the time. So I said, like, this is cool, like, we get to go to the Comedy Store. We get to go for free. So we got the comp tickets, we were supposed to go to the Bringer show, but we ended up meeting Jesus and Jesus gave us tickets to like the OR, right?
Oh,
So
the
we
original room at the Comedy Store. Yeah, because I want to say that okay, for example, and we'll get to that in a little bit, but that picture of Bobby Lee and Joe Coy. Now, what year did you think you took that photo? It's in the background, guys. He'll show Bobby Lee's dressed like a hot dog. Joe Coy's dressed like a hamburger. Do you know what year that was?
Yeah, so that must have been like 2010 or 11.
Dang, has it been that long? Wow. Okay, so here's my point. I was starting to see these photos, and I'm like, these photos are cool. And then I'd see these other photos that you took, and all the backgrounds had like this cool blue tint to it. And I was like, man, this is the look. Because you know what? I mean, I was basically doing this, you know, and I mean, I have color versions of this, but I wasn't really happy with my photos. And I saw these photos around, like different posters and marquees, and I travel on the road, and I even told you, I said, man, you know, without saying names, because maybe I don't even know who these people were, but I remember at the time there was a few folks that I felt were kind of like beginner comedians, but with your photos, you made them look like they were stars, and I was like, damn, I need to get some pictures like that.
That's funny. That's funny you say that.
And dude, I got to tell you, I was just going to say, so when I found out that you were the guy, because you and I met somewhere, maybe the Comedy Store, and I go, you're the guy that does that? And then it turns out that I'm from Fresno and you're from the Valley. I thought you were like some big New York comedian or New York photographer or LA photographer. I didn't know that, you know, we have like that common bond, you know, the roots of the Valley, man. I was just blown away by that.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And it's crazy that you say that. Like, you know, like maybe I make some comedians look a little funnier than what they are. Before I even started taking pictures, before I even picked up a camera, I was a graphic designer. That's how I kind of like got into taking pictures. And I would design ads for restaurants, and other like businesses would come to me and tell me like Frankie, like you're making this hole in the wall restaurant look like a 5-star restaurant. Like quit doing
they're like,
that.
Stop doing that, man. They're thinking we're too expensive. They're gonna think we have valet, you know?
Like they would literally tell me like, look, we're looking at this ad and it looks like we're gonna like pull up and like there's gonna be valet and like and it's like you know, it's just a small hole in the wall Mexican restaurant and like just basic, right? But my response the entire time was like, that's their food. You know what I mean? Like I didn't Photoshop their food, or I didn't go grab a 5-star restaurant's plate and like Photoshop it into their ad. Like,
hey, let me ask you something, man. Is there a trick to taking a picture of food to making it look better than it should be? Something just happened. I don't know if you see that, but did you see that right now or no? Okay, good. I got some weird little glitch, but I'll take a look at that. Is there a trick to making food look better than it should, or not better than it should, better than it does? Okay, basically, how can us Instagrammers photograph our food to make it look really good? What would be a tip you might give us?
Yeah, for sure. So like when I shoot food, I mean, it's super simple. Like by no means I'm a food photographer, so like I don't get too elaborate on it, but when I shoot food, like I said, I keep it super simple. I always do like a plain wall, like a white wall, for example, and something that you can do for cheap is you can go to the dollar store, and get like that big poster board that kind of bent, so you can kind of cove it, so you would like tack it on a wall and you would put it on a table. You would want like good professional, like natural light coming in, or not professional, but just natural light coming in. So you would want to put that like this, near a window.
Okay. So like this napkin, you would kind of like, if this is that poster board you're saying for adult, you would kind of bend it like this,
just like that,
and then put the food right there at the.
You would put the food right there. You'd put the food there, and that would be right next to like the window, right? So then you would get low, and you would shoot it, and it would be just naturally lit. And if you want to get a little bit more creative with the lighting, you can get another poster board, put it on the other side so it bounces light into the shot.
Wow.
So you can take some really cool pictures with your iPhone.
I'm using direct light. Like I have one of these little lights I picked up, you know, from Best Buy for like $30, but maybe I should be like bouncing it off of a dollar like poster board. Maybe, I don't know. Well,
are you shooting food? Are you shooting food with that, or?
No, I'm filming myself right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm like, no, man. Listen, I'm a bald carrot. I'm a shaved carrot. Yeah. But am I shooting? No.
Yeah. I
Maybe
mean,
I
it
don't need to
works.
bounce that. I am pretty pale though. I got to watch my, but and do you think it's best to take food like is there a certain angle like aerial photography of the food or more like
It's variety. You want to get everything seriously. Like you want to do like a bird's eye view. You want to get like down and shoot it like eye level, and then you want to do an angle and because like when you go look at them and pose,
this is hilarious. I know you're talking about menus and posters for real restaurants, but what if this really was a tutorial for Instagram? How we can get more likes?
I mean, it can be,
No, let me tell you something real quick. My buddy, okay, shout out to David Liu if you're watching or listening. David Liu, he won he won a year's worth of free sandwiches from a restaurant called Togo's because he took a great photo of a sandwich. And his tip, and he's just a guy with an iPhone who likes food and photography. He told me what he likes to do when he takes his pictures of food, all he does is he tilts his camera so it's like at an angle. So the food isn't just like this. It's kind of like an angle,
creative,
a little like at an angle. Like I don't know. He got a year's worth of free sandwiches. So
do you think it's because he tilted it though? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I'm pretty gullible. So
was that the secret?
Yeah.
I used to shoot people when I started shooting when I was like an amateur. Like when I first picked up a camera, all my shots look like that of people, like that camera tilt. And I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And then I got like some criticism by a professional photographer, and he basically said like, stop doing that, because one thing that I noticed was, and it's true, the horizon is off. You know what I mean? So like if you're like downtown and like the sidewalk is off, and like everything's slanted and stuff, so it just kind of throws off the image.
Hey, real quick, what if I tilted myself right now? How does that look? Is this going to get more downloads? What's up, YouTube? I'm tilting myself.
You're gonna get free Togos for.
I know. I better just put that back. I think I put it back right now. But do you thanks for that tip on that. I like that, the dollar poster board. And then do you have some of those photos that you've taken of me recently, or do you happen to have them on you or with you? Or?
I do. So I have a couple images on my iPad.
And you guys can go to frankieleal.com and check out the real pictures.
Yeah.
And what I wanted to say is, Frankie, I did a college up there. He reached out to me, and I didn't know. This is probably the best way, in a weird way, looking back, if this is the one with the vest. Yes, I didn't even know this photo was going to happen. Look at that. If you guys watch I like my women like I use that photo right there for a long time. I love that photo, the way I was looking kind of mysterious but yet creepy, and just kind of and I don't know if you could tell, but I actually am wearing a vest because it wasn't like I was prepared to go to a photo shoot that day. It was in Reedley, California. I want to say I felt like it was like 40 degrees. It was a cold night, and I just had my vest on, and I was just like, okay, I'm here, I'm ready. And you're like, hey, do you mind if I take a few photos? And I'm like, sure. And so I'm just doing some poses, and then I didn't even know that was going to be such a great photo, and I've used it for years for the I like my women like I like my periodic tables with some bad elements. What do I know? I'm married, but anyways, I like my women like I like my poster board from the dollar store and next to the window, and not at a slant. Okay, but so you got that photo. What other? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. I was just gonna say that I think that was the first time that that's the first time we shot like in a studio though, right? And then this is. Oh yeah, when I opened for Mike Epps at the Selland Arena, and that was wow. Look at that. That's wow. Look at that. That's cool. Wait, I look totally different there. I look like Jesus Trejo. No, but that was Backstage, dude. That was Backstage at the Selland Arena. I think there was about 5,000 people there that night. That was a great. And somebody photoshopped that picture that you just held up. Have you seen that one where they made me have tattoos and it says like, "What you laughing at, puto?" Have you seen that photo they made of me? I did see that one. Yeah.
Gangsters, smile now, cry later, or something. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know who did that, but
Yeah,
That was
that
cool,
was
man,
dope.
dude. Yeah, yeah. When you, I'm glad you came with me to that Selland Arena, man. The big
That was
concert.
dope. That was dope. That was my first show shooting, like comedy wise, right? And it's
Because I think you shot like
I was with you.
musicians and stuff, but that was.
I have shot, yeah, like I've shot a lot of concerts, but that was my first comedy show, and I remember me riding with you, and I don't, well, I think I left my car in Fowler. You picked me up. We met like a Starbucks, and then we rolled up together
Yeah,
because of all the
yeah,
traffic and
yeah,
around
yeah.
like
I
the
go, dude.
venue
I
and
don't know
stuff.
about VIP parking. Just roll with me because I'll get us right in backstage, and
Yeah,
because it can be crazy like that.
that was dope. But we were like walking back there, and like I know Mike Epps was back there. Bruce, I want to say, was back there, and there was
Yeah,
a couple of other comics that I probably didn't recognize, but that was fun. That was really dope
it
to
was
get
so
that
fun,
like
man.
VIP experience for sure.
VIP. I loved it, man. By the way,
Yeah,
that
that
was the
was dope.
same arena that when I graduated from my high school, Roosevelt. We held our I thought about that later. I thought, man, I graduated high school in this building, and there's a lot of history to that building. Elvis Presley performed there. Run DMC performed there.
Hmm.
And I mean, I was like, wow, I got to not only graduate as a 17-year-old, 18-year-old, wondering what will I be when I grow up? I really want to be a comedian. And then flash forward years later, I'm like, wow, I'm actually on the stage, like doing it. And, you know, it was
That's
just a really,
dope.
it was a trip. I thought about that after the show, man. I was like, wow, a lot of, it really
Yeah,
meant
for
something
sure.
special to me. And it was cool that you were there and you took those great backstage photos, man.
Yeah. I mean, like that was big time for me as well. Like that's just crazy because again, here like in 2002, I was watching you on Que Loco, and then a couple years later, I'm like hanging out with you backstage, and like I know they had like buffet food, back there, and it was a dope experience,
Do you
man.
have
It was
a
dope.
do you like do you prefer Sony or Canon? Do you have a favorite type of camera that you go
Hmm.
with?
So I shoot with Canon. Yeah, it's all Canon cameras with me, and when I got into it, I knew nothing about photography, like absolutely nothing, and my mentor, Ryan Ryan Watamura, he was a Canon guy, and he worked at a camera store. So when I pulled up one day and I was like, hey man, like I need some equipment, and that right there is a funny story. If I can just share it real quick. So me and my wife owned a publication called Traffic Magazine, and it was like a city lifestyle magazine, kind of like Los Angeles magazine. But I'm sure they have one like OC Weekly, um, and it was a direct mail publication. So we mailed this magazine to like 20,000 houses in Wheatley and Kingsburg, and I was the graphic designer, the publisher,
Yeah. Wait.
and
So let me ask you a question. So how does that work? Do you get this? Like, I mean, if you're mailing 20,000 pieces of mail, that's a lot of money. Like, does somebody
mhm,
sponsor it? So you got like different sponsors, and then I don't know how that
right.
works.
Yeah, so what we were doing is we were just making money off the ad
Mm,
revenue. So we were selling advertisements. The magazine was free, and we always wanted to keep it free. We could have charged like a subscription. It's super popular, and but we just always felt like no, like this should be a free magazine, and that's how we funded it. Like through the advertisers, and that's where that when those
So
people would
like what
come.
kind of advertiser would like just different local advertisers and you
Yeah, like any local businesses, like mom and pop shops, like anybody that owned a business in
you're like
Kingsburg and
you're like
Wheatley.
you're like this goes out to 20,000 different doors and
Hmm.
for I don't know how much would you like for $500 or I don't know I have no idea but like X amount
Yeah.
of dollars you get to be in the
Hmm.
ad and then the idea is you get enough people then it makes it where it's cost effective what if you only
Yeah.
have like
Yeah.
one sponsor then it's like ugh, like you know yeah.
But we definitely had
One
like a
guy's paying
minimum.
10 grand. He's like, yes, I'm a locksmith. I hope people hire me this month. Duh. You know?
Yeah. Well, we had a quota, like we had a minimum amount like of pages that we needed to sell to make a profit. And like even like with advertising, like the smaller the ad, the more profit we would make. Because it's just like if you buy in bulk, it's cheaper. So
Yeah.
like let's just say like a business card size ad, let's just say it was $200, right? But you can put 8 business cards on a page at $1,600, but a full page could cost you $1,000. So now we're losing out on $800 if we sell
Oh,
full pages,
yeah.
you know. So, but and then it's like less work because now we're just designing one ad versus 8 ads, right? So, but still, yeah, like the smaller the ad, the more money we would make. So we would try to smaller ads. But
That's so funny.
yeah.
It goes against like what you think. Like, it's almost like boxing. Like you know, you think like, oh, I'm gonna get punched. I better get over here and away from the. And I've learned that they don't. You're not supposed to be away. You're supposed to like, you know, like because they always say like beginning boxing lesson. They're like the person, your opponent thinks he expects that his hand is going to end right here, but if you step in, now you're like inside. So it goes against the instinct until you learn that. So yeah, I guess I like how you actually like know professional boxers. I'm just like, you know what you want to do is you want to run into the punch because they're not expecting that. Actually, they were expecting that, but yeah. So like the smaller the ad, yeah, I got you.
More profit, yeah, more profit. So we so I designed that publication, and we had photographers, and we were paying them more money, but. You know, like a graphic designer, which I was, but I just like no matter what photographer I hired, they would take awesome photos, but I just feel like a designer thinks different because I know where I want the text, I know where I want the subjects, and like I want them to shoot loose, like just to allow room like for the article and stuff like that. So it got to a point where I was just like, you know what, like I gotta just like dive right into photography and like learn this so I have more like creative control. And we went to the camera store and just dumped a bunch of money and bought a bunch of equipment. And
that's cool.
But it was Canon. To answer your question, my friend who's been shooting Canon forever recommended Canon, and
I'm pretty happy with Canon. I have a Canon camera, and you know, shout out to my buddy Peter Marr. He works at Canon, and Peter's great. Dude. Yep, it's like if you ever need, Peter's a great guy, and he's been on the podcast before. But with regards to that publication, I like there's a publication that sounds like it's like that. I saw it when I was in Canada, and I've seen it when I've in different little tiny towns. They'll have like on the back page, they'll have like different jokes and stuff like that. Did you guys have jokes in your publication? Like the back
that would have been
page,
good. Yeah, we didn't have jokes. We had we featured local restaurants, local events, businesses, recipes. But we had like, what else? I mean, business profiles. But that would have been good. I know we did an article on you. We interviewed you, right?
Yes, I made it. Yes,
remember that?
Yeah.
That was cool. And then did I send you some copies? Do you have them?
You know what? Send that to me if you find it, because I'd love to see it again.
Yeah. Those are
let me tell you this. I wrote this joke the other day. I said it was based on a true story, by the way. I said that I tweeted this. Let me actually tweet let me show you what the real. I want to get the wording exactly how it was, because there's a story behind what I'm about to tell you. So this is what I call like a little silly clean dad joke. Okay, I want to say it was my accountant, but I don't know who it was. I think he said he was going to McDonald's a lot. It might not be my accountant, or whatever. It doesn't matter. So it was this guy that I know was going to McDonald's all the time for lunch. So for the joke, I changed it to, I asked my foot doctor why he has lunch every day at McDonald's. He said he loves the golden arches. I tweeted that about my foot doctor, golden arches, McDonald's. McDonald's actually responded to it, and I don't know if you could see this, but the real McDonald's, they wrote SMH, shake my head.
No.
They're like, that's corny. I know, it's like, come on.
Wow,
even McDonald's is mean on Twitter. But that'd be like the perfect kind of joke, like in one of those little publications. I don't know, I would imagine, right? Like, right. You know what I mean? It's clean, it's silly, it's like gives people a chuckle, and then they buy more advertisement.
Yeah. If we start that magazine up again, we're doing it. We're doing it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get all my corny jokes in order. I'm gonna, I know I have all these jokes. I don't have a lot of those kind of jokes, but I do have a lot of little jokes I write down, and I want to put them in a book someday. So, You guys leave me some encouragement in the comments on this video. So let's get to some of these photos you have before we wrap up. I'd love to see what you have. And like I said, guys, you know, he's just showing me on the iPad right now, but go to his website and you'll see it. See, look, there's Jesus Trejo. Wow, what a character. That guy has a great look, man. Great look.
This was shot just if I
so
could share
funny.
a little bit, you know, if I could just share a little bit about each photo. Met him at the comedy store, right? He was working the door at the time. He had no headshots. So we set up a shoot and we were on Hollywood and Vine in a small hotel. And I had no money to rent a studio, right? And he was starting off. So he didn't have a big budget for photos. So I kind of piggyback like a weekend getaway in LA / business photo shoot. We went up to like the 5th floor, demolished the room. We picked up the bed and, you know, like leaned it on the wall and we did a photo shoot. So this picture is
see what I mean, guys? Look at that backdrop.
Room.
Look how good that looks. That backdrop.
Yeah, that
looks
red,
amazing.
Right?
And you make it. See, look at that. Bobby Lee dressed as a hot dog. Now, how did he bring the costume or was that something you provided?
Yeah, no. Yeah. So Bobby Lee and Joe Coy brought these outfits and I know they were pitching, I don't know if it was a TV show or a film or some idea to a studio. So they needed some pictures and they brought all the props to do that. So the only thing that I did add to this photo is the cigarette and the smoke. Or maybe just the smoke. I'm sorry. I think he had the cigarette. I just added.
That's cool.
That's another picture. Same day of Bobby.
That's another great backdrop. How do you do that backdrop? Or is that like an industry secret?
No, these are it's seamless paper, you know, and it's the cheapest backdrops that anybody
How come
could
nobody
buy.
else is doing it? Or are they doing it more now? I don't know. Like I feel like
I mean, I follow a lot of photographers and I see a lot of people doing it. I know that when I was doing it, like in
2009, 2010,
2010, like honestly, I feel like it was like a trend that had like gone away because I know it was really big, like back in the day, like in the old days, like where people used to shoot on color a lot. And I felt like it kind of went away and I started shooting color. And then like, I felt like it started coming back. You know, so like I wish I could say like, yeah, it was because of me, you know, but I just feel like everyone shoots on color now, you know, and now I've been kind of fading away from the color and I'm doing more like texture type backdrops just because I feel like everyone's doing color. So then let me see if I can find a textured backdrop.
Yeah, show us what a textured backdrop is. I don't know what that is. I know you have that picture of me with
well, this
like,
would
there's like some wood. I think I'm leaning on some wood or something.
I don't know if you can see the texture on that.
And is that guy a boxer?
Yeah, so this is Evan Sanchez, and he signed with Golden Boy, and he's from Parlier. So
wow.
I think you know where Parlier is at, right?
Yeah, man.
You're from the Valley, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's when I shot him at the time, he wasn't signed yet, but he's with Golden Boy now.
Isn't that wild? Like you could be, you know, boxer, you know, fighting at the MGM, and you could live in a little town, you know. I don't know, it's so weird, you know, like
you know, like especially now with technology, right? Like you know, like I also teach photography at the high school level in video, and I tell my students all the time, like, you don't need like a record company to come to you. You know, like if you want to rap, put your work out. You know, like you have YouTube, put your work out. If you want to do makeup and you're really good at makeup, put your YouTube videos out or put your work out on Instagram and get followers. And I mean, we all have like the same chances as everybody does, I feel like, right? So like with me being a photographer and like most of my work is done in LA, but it's all done through networking, through social media, and emails and you know, so it's like we all have that same chance. So you know, it's a lot easier now than it is.
It's kind of cool too, like with there's maybe like less distractions in a sense. Like I'm trying to think of the positives of like being in Parlier. It's like, You know what I mean? Like, all right, I'm going to go jogging. I'm going to go run for an hour, you know, like, and maybe if you're in a place where there's like all this exciting and temptation around, it might be, I mean, boxers are pretty focused though. I mean, they, you know, so, but seriously though, like, but to even get to that level, it's like, you know, I know when I'm up there and I'm at the farm, I'm like, you know, I actually have these fantasies. I'm at, you know, like Rocky and stuff. And, you know, like I'm training, you know, and I'm throwing tires around and stuff. It's like,
Right.
it's
I
kind of
see your
fun.
videos, and
Yeah,
they motivate me. They motivate me for sure. I'm like, oh man, there's Darren running again. So I
yeah.
I gotta go run now.
Dude,
So
you know what I did, man? I mean, I started it this month again because I felt like I was starting to get a little, you know, lazy with it. I was eating way too much ice cream, and with the wildfires, I wasn't running like you know, it's hard to breathe. But I started doing 50 push-ups, 50 sit-ups every day, and I go and I write it down. I write down 50, then I put a circle around it, like I did it, and you know, it's just something about seeing it, like wow, 50, 50,
for
50, 50,
sure.
50, and I usually try to do it within the first half hour of waking up. Today I didn't. But you know what though, dude? I stopped, I dropped, and usually I do 25 rest and then 25. But today I said, you know what? I'm just being, I'm free, you know, I'm giving up in my mind when I'm at 25. I could keep going. And I actually did 50 in a row with that. I got to 40 and I kind of just locked my arms. And then I said, let me just do this final 10. And I did it. I actually did the final 10. It was cool. I wish you were there to take pictures of it.
To video. Wow. I mean, yeah, it does.
I mean, if I want to get
Write
back
it
to
down.
this look, I gotta bring
We
back
gotta
the.
we gotta recreate it.
I gotta,
Let's do it.
dude. I
do
actually
it,
borrowed that shirt. I borrowed that shirt that's around my waist, and I borrowed that vest because my friend, he always had cool clothes. So I go, hey, my agent says I got to dress for what's hot right now, and he goes, here, take this, and then so they told me to wrap it around my waist. That is so silly. Okay, we're running out of time. Let's. What else do you got for us? Who else can you show us?
Let's just do like a quick slide through. So this is
Beautiful.
Joe Coy. Joe Coy
Joe
on a
Coy.
blue backdrop. Such a cool dude.
So cool. Felipe
This is
Esparza.
Felipe Esparza again. This is one of my favorite pictures of him.
That's so cool.
So cool. This is Tony Hinchcliffe on a purple backdrop.
Wow. The
Yeah,
golden pony.
Yeah.
That was before he had a lot of success. Oh, dude, I see that photo a lot. He uses that photo a lot. Or maybe the clubs use the photo. I don't know who's using it, but that's a very famous photo.
I know he had it on his Twitter for a while. I don't know if it's still on, but
how does it make you feel when you see your photos like on marquees and these giant, you know, it must feel cool.
Like as a photographer, like just speaking for me, like it's never really, I mean, of course, like I like to get paid and make the money and do it, but really it's just when you see your images on billboards, on t-shirts, on flyers all over the world, like that feeling, I don't know. It's an awesome feeling. It's like, I can't really explain it, you know, like.
When I was at the Irvine
crazy.
Spectrum down there in Irvine, they had me in the marquee. I remember taking a photo, and I think I sent it to you. Like, dude, the new photo you took of me, it's up there now. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Who else do you got? Just
see. So this is Ian Edwards.
Ian Edwards, hilarious.
This is on a pink. You know, let me just share something real quick.
Oh, that's
on
cool.
This. Yeah, but this is a pink backdrop. I know I'm battling like the glare and stuff. Yeah. And I told Ian, you know, bring like 2 to 3 different wardrobe options, and he just pulls up in this badass outfit, like just one, right?
And, it's cool.
And I'm like, all right, like I can definitely work with this outfit. I love it. And I see the pink paper, and I ask him, and I'm thinking like he's gonna say no, you know, like I'm like, hey Ian, can I shoot you on pink? And he was like, yeah, man, let's do it. This is super cool comment, cool guy. And he was all about it. He was all game, and we made some badass pictures, man. So, you know,
check that on Frankie Leal. Oh, look at that. There's Sarah. Is that Sarah Tiana?
This is Sarah Tiana, shot outdoors. And then this is another cool pic of her shot outside as well. But I set up my studio in my friend's backyard in Sherman Oaks to get this photo. And then that's Sarah. Again.
There's that background we were talking about. I never know what to wear these things, man. You know that. Like I'm always like, what should I wear? Gosh.
And then this is Vanessa Johnston. And let's see what else I got. Oh, and then I got Russell Peters here on stage. That's kind of hard with
hilarious. hilarious
Oh,
comedian. He's always in the top Forbes paid comedians. Like he
he's
tours
such
the
a cool,
world.
yeah.
He's so cool. He's like one
And
of the
then this is
nicest dudes.
Benji.
Benji Aflalo.
That's right. And then, do you know who this is?
I want to guess that that's only because you gave me the cheat sheet, so I know who that is. But that's
Okay,
I would not know. But is that Willie Hunter?
that's Willie Hunter, and this is a photograph. It's not an illustration drawing.
Wow.
It's a silhouette of Willie, and then this is
Dustin
my
Ibarra,
boy.
aka Aquaman.
Yeah, it's
Was I
super
there
cool
that day?
comic.
Was that the day that we got our pictures taken the same day?
Yeah, if you met him, then yeah,
Yeah.
because if he was at the studio, you were
Yeah.
definitely there that day.
'Cause when we
And then,
did it, it was at the studio. That
and then this is Rick Ross.
the
And just real
balls.
quick, a
Yeah.
funny story on Rick Ross, and I can even end it on this. Well, here, hold on, real quick. Let me just show you.
Oh
When I
wow,
got
Kobe. Yeah, just
Kobe
just actually
Bryant.
show us all the photos and then get back to the Rick Ross.
Okay, and then this is my boy. I just shot my youngest son Julian
That's
Tomas.
cool. What's up,
Yeah,
Julian?
this is in our garage. This is my son Frankie,
Wow.
and this is
Wow.
actually on my shirt. So
Oh,
it's
it's
the same.
cool.
Yeah, it's the same photo,
Oh man.
and then that's him again.
He's
I had
funny.
a
That's
I
a
had a
funny one.
famous comedian. I forgot what comedian it was, but I want to say it was Patrick Lance. Patrick, was that his
Lance
name?
Patrick. Lance Patrick.
Lance Patrick. He saw this photo on social media and commented and said, he looks like like he looks like a comedian in the making. And then this
Oh,
is
that's
my
cool.
oldest son, Evan.
That's cool.
That's my daughter,
See, man.
Mia.
Wow. I just started out as I should get a camera. Now look at you. You got these great photos of everybody.
This is the textured backdrop that I
Yeah.
was talking about. Yeah. So
And then,
just real quick on,
yeah, Chingo Bling. You got Chingo Bling on there?
I do have him. Is he on here? Let's see. I think I do have him. Oh, yeah. Here's
This
Chingo.
guy's a character. Look at him. But
This guy's amazing. Super smart guy.
business guy,
Funny.
man. And he's a nice
Business.
dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you got about Rick
Funny.
Ross? You got a Rick Ross story?
Okay. Yeah. So like Rick Ross here, let me bring this image up so you can see.
Yeah.
Okay. So like I'm backstage at a concert, in the San Francisco area, and I'm with Baby Bash. I'm backstage with Baby Bash. And, I guess they were like super
Baby
strict.
Bash.
Yeah. They were like super strict backstage, and they only had one photographer, like one event photographer, and I wasn't even supposed to be there, but because I went with talent, I was cool, but I was only allowed to shoot Bash. And so the photographers came up to me and said, "Hey man, you can only shoot Bash. You can't shoot anybody else." And I was like, "That's cool." So I respected it because I mean, I didn't want to get kicked out. You know what I mean? Like I'm here,
Yeah.
I'm having this awesome experience. I don't want to get in trouble. I'm just doing, taking care of my own business, walking backstage, and Rick Ross is coming towards me. I have my camera down, but he sees a photographer. So when he's gonna pass me, he stops and strikes a pose.
Oh,
And
wow. That's
he
cool.
he strikes a pose, and I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna tell Rick Ross, like, nah, bro, like, sorry, can't take your picture.
I'm only
Like,
supposed to take
yeah,
Bash's photo. Baby
yeah.
Bash, Mr. Baby, Mr. Bash, Mr. Baby Bash.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, sorry, no, can't do. Yeah, right. So I took one shot. That was the photo. I took one picture, and
Wow.
I kept walking, and I got that photo out
Wow.
of it. So
And then
yeah,
this guy comes around the corner. I heard you're taking photos. I'm available.
creeper.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I want to be in your 20,000 ad newspaper. Anyways,
funny.
hey, listen, man, I want to thank you for coming on. That was awesome. And we'll have you back. In closing, do you have any words of wisdom, anything you'd like to tell anybody inspiring, wanting to follow their dreams, something that you learned along the way?
Oh man, like that's like a loaded question because I mean there's like 100 things I can tell you, but a couple things that stick out would be, I mean, I feel like if there's something that you're passionate about, something that you enjoy, and it could be comedy, photography, whatever. I feel like you really have to be like obsessed about that craft, right? Because you gotta like do it nonstop, consistently, like forever. Like there's no like, well, let me just do this from 9 to 4 and like turn it off. I feel like it's got to be turned on all the time, and like your entire life. Like you can never ever stop learning, right?
Yeah.
Like I mean, I'm still taking workshops, and like I feel like I look at my career and I'm like, I don't want to say like I'm not happy, but I'm just always trying to be better, always trying to be better, always trying to be better. So I'm like, I'm never satisfied in a way. So like, I feel like you have to be obsessed, right? So sometimes we hear the word, oh, like that person's obsessed, or like in the negative light, but it doesn't. I feel like it doesn't have to be in the negative light. Like it can be in a positive fashion as well.
Yeah, man.
You know, so just
Obsession,
never give up.
to be obsessed.
Never give up.
That's right. Because you guys must have had a lot of rejection back in the day with the newspaper trying to get off the ground, trying to get sponsors, trying to, people, and you were obsessed, and that led to something else, and led to something else, and here we are. Frankie, thank you for coming on, and you know what? We'll talk to you soon, and thanks for taking those great photos. And as soon as I lose another, 10 pounds, let's do a session.
Thank you, Darren.
We're done with this interview.
Everybody listen to Darren Carter. We all know he's the party starter. So if you want to listen to a podcast for free, then listen to The Pocket Party.